versus 16-bit gear. One will go home after this best of 3 match. If you just tune in onto the live stream, we are just about to start round 1, and we'll see how things will go. So from yesterday, just to give a little bit of trivia on what has happened. So Sengoku got that matchup against Chakaimuk. Unfortunately, they got defeated in the 2-0 score in favor of Chakaimuk. 16-bit gear, however, had to deal with Liab Esports a while ago, and at the same time had to deal with Omega Esports from yesterday, and they lost 2-0 from that one, being the reason them being here in the bracket. But they're fighting. Seems like they're fighting and not really going back onto having this matchup. So we're loading in here, and we're already here in the battlefield. Again, we're your casters. I'm Kaisaya. With me is Excondrel. Let's see what will be the strategy of this two teams.
Yeah, again, nothing crazy. I like it when teams play a little bit safer and don't go for these crazy level 1s. And I think especially versus a Braum, you do not want to go into a Braum level 1. Braum has got the strongest level 1 out of any support in the game because he can individually stun your entire team. Obviously, he's got to get the stacks on them, but he just needs to basic attack one member from the enemy team to get that stack started. And he can essentially stun everybody at level 1 if the basic attacks come through. So playing into a Braum level 1, you don't want to get caught by that, even if it is with a Jhin. So I'm just liking how just more defensive starts that we're getting from our guys on the Rift.
Yes, for sure. And we see that matchup between the mid laners Oriana as well as Aurelion Sol, and we know that of course the upper advantage in terms of clearing the minion waves is in the Oriana, and that's been happening. But on the top side, we can see the Darius somehow getting more damage up against that Camille. But in the boss side, the situation is, it is the Jhin as well as the Braum getting seemingly like being more aggressive in terms of positioning in their lane. But yeah, it's hard to tell for the meantime. But Rift Scuttler in here, fight ongoing onto the top side. Let's see how they're gonna be answering each other's back. Looks like we have 2 pokes ongoing, but they're not really going for that full commit.
Yeah, Camille does have the inbuilt sustain with her leg sweep as well, which is going to allow her to again trade more effectively. Darius has already had to go for the heal, whereas Camille's honey fruit is still up and available should she want to back and go and get that, which I think is now is the right time to do so, especially as you just shoved the wave. So Camille really having the upper hand in this engage right now. I think actually did Wukong get away with double scuttling the early game here? He managed to pick up.
Yes. I think
that's a great start.
He did on the top side and here in the bot lane part as well. But let's talk about what's happening in here on the top side. Again, this is a Camille still having the upper advantage. Rush is not ready to actually go for a backup. Darius in here just needs to go for a safer route. We just, just go for a tower hack for the meantime. We're not yet ready since, we lost 2 scuttlers and we don't know what might be waiting for us in the bushes.
Yeah, it's a good start. Honestly, if you could double scuttle a Shyvana, who is notoriously quick at clearing the jungle, that's a really good start. You're going to limit her XP gain, limit her gold gain just a little bit, and you take those small advantages when you're jungling into a Shyvana who just clears the waves insanely quickly. So yeah, really, really good. I'm enjoying this early gameplay coming out from Sengoku. Sorry, from 16-bit. What am I talking about? 16-bit esports. That's I think you've got to take the edge where you can get it. They are not massively ahead. They're only about 600, 500 gold in the lead right now. So obviously everything to play for. But like I said, that Infernal Drake spawning in 45 seconds. Both bot lanes are going to have to pick up whatever items they can. Shyvana wants this dragon. This is probably the single most important upgrade for Shyvana, maybe next to the Ocean Drake, simply because it gives her the true damage on her fire breath in dragon form. So it basically makes her deal insane damage in team fights when she can get this upgrade, and it's a really, really big one. Plus, obviously, the Infernal Drake maybe being, as a single effect, one of the more effective, or one of the most effective dragons that you can pick up. Doesn't look like we're seeing Darius rotate for the dragon, though. He looks like he's heading back towards the top lane. Camille hard shoving the lane out. So, yeah, I'm wondering if this is going to be like a slow build up towards this dragon, or we're just going to have like a really explosive team fight.
Yes, let's see. But, well, you mentioned it already. If the Darius is not ready to back up and join a team fight that might potentially happen in here in the Infernal Drake Pit, then maybe they have to deal with a 4v5 fight that might happen. But no, here. Looks like he's going to be joining anytime soon. Both are not yet ready. Instead, they're going to be prioritizing that tier 1 turret down bottom part of the map. Yes, they did not take that, but that was massive amount of damage dealt just to put the turret into half-life.
And you can also see the Aurelion Soul backed and has picked up his Leandries. So this is a really big item spike for this next dragon fight, and this is like an item that's going to allow him to have a huge impact if they choose to go for it. And both teams are very reluctant to commit to this. Neither team wants to go for like the what I often call the run it down coin flip for first dragon, because it can be very scary. I mean, obviously Shyvana is in no rush. Like if they can set it up better, then that's obviously better for her. But although she gets caught out.
Oh yes, the Hexic. They're targeting a rush. They're gonna be committing onto a team fight, almost onto death. Fortunately enough, there's the shot a clone from that Wukong, and now a position to actually take the Infernal Drake in this one. Brawl might be having his shield available as well. Curtain Call trying to get some targets on the side of Team 16-bit. Unfortunately, no steal for them, and this is Team Sengoku going on to a slither of hell, trying to survive. Oh, look at that! Kills coming from the side of Team 16-bit. Man, they're doing some really good plays in this game.
That was a beautiful pick. That, like, right at the start there from the Camille, absolutely gorgeous pick onto the Shyvana. You force her. She can't use her ultimate because she's stuck in the Hextech ultimatum. Obviously, this is an attempted desperation steal from the Shyvana, but at this point, 16-bit were too healthy. They took almost no damage from the Jhin, and they were able to kite backwards really nicely. That was so good and really just facilitated by the Camille in the top lane. Such excellent play from 16-bit to kick things off. 3-0, denying the Infernal Drake from the Shyvana. That is a great start if you're a 16-bit fan.
Totally a great start. I mean, the decisive play coming from the Camille was really commendable. Okay, this is Shyvana wanting to contest what we want to take in this one. No, you're gonna be stopped because I'm willing to commit my ultimate for you. But here we go with a Rift Herald, not even contested by Team Sengoku. But instead, them looks like trying to wait for an opportunity to gank a target here in the bot side part of the map.
Yeah, they're setting up for what looks to be a dive.
Upside
honestly,
Joe?
this
Ooh.
yeah, Camille. That Camille matchup, once she gets a sliver of a lead, it's almost impossible for Darius to keep pace, especially because Darius has gone for the Black Cleaver build compared to the Trinity Force from the Camille. And there we go. I mean, she's going to start to run away with that in the side lane right now. And 16-bit are off to a fantastic start. I mean, Hack's heading up there, I think, to just prevent that wave from crashing and losing the experience, as well as making sure that the Camille will not be able to clean it up. I would say that Hack is probably the guy that I'm keeping my eyes on now. Mm-hmm. If he can get that Aurelion Soul into the late game, and he can get the items to sort of back his team up and keep himself relevant, then I think that there is still a chance for Sengoku. Like, I mean, Aurelion Sol can absolutely carry fights by himself if he's in the right scenario.
For sure. Let's see. Seems like anyway that's what they're waiting for. But for Team 16-bit, looks like they're even willing to try to pick off Hack the Aurelion Sol on the side of Team Sengoku, but just that didn't happen because you can see how we're actually trying to route. It's kind of safe, and they don't really want to give more casualty onto 16-bit this time. But yeah, they must buy time and wait for the Shyvana to go online, even the Darius to go online, especially that Aurelion Sol that is looking good because he's the one who's got more gold compared to the Shyvana.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the entire team, realistically, only the Jhin is the sort of keeping pace with him in terms of pure gold value. But I mean, you've probably played against enough Dariuses to know that all it takes is one team fight for Darius to start getting dunk resets, and things can definitely switch back the other way. So obviously, let's not count out Sengoku at this stage in time. But again, denying the first Drake from Shyvana, very strong. Giving the leads over to your Camille, super good as well. The Misfortune 2-item spike of the Infinity Edge and Blade of the Ruin King. That is also something to keep our eyes on. That is a bigger spike than the Jin is currently offering in terms of damage output. And another Drake fight is slowly starting to reveal itself. Now, whether the Shyvana thinks she's strong enough to fight this, I don't know. But I do genuinely feel like this is probably still in the advantage for 16-bit.
But all the thought, look at the top side. We have a 1v1 fight. Hextech Ultimatum has been used onto the Darius. Darius in here will fall down onto the hands of the Camille once more. Totally fine even if the Camille lost that ultimate for herself in case the fight happens here in the Dragon Pit. But with one member down on the side of Sengoku, that's gonna be some something that Team 16-bit can take advantage. Not to mention, by the way, there goes the Rift Herald spawned on the top side.
Yeah, she's split pushing the top. I mean, you could see like Sengoku, they're going for the fight.
Yes, indeed. In here, we can see the bullet time connecting onto some members on the side of Sengoku. We can see Shyvana with a flame breath as well. Oh, look at that shockwave connecting onto the Braum. Fortunately, the Braum will be able to sustain that damage, but their turret in the bot lane part of the map will fall off. Great position as well to even take another Drake for themselves, as Shyvana is already starving at this point.
Yeah, Shyvana starved of Drakes at this stage, and that was super intelligent from Camille in top lane. Like, again, the Camille versus Darius matchup, a good Camille wins that matchup. Like, there's a tough matchup for Darius to win. So, I think, Camille is obviously just playing the matchup out of the way she should. But you could see Shyvana was so desperate to be there at the Dragon fight that they were able to get the first turret of the game and drop the Rift turret at the top as well. Obviously, Darius was able to respawn and prevent it from going much further. But they just cross-map split push play is really, really good from 16-bit. They did it previously as well, I believe, with the Fiora. And they're making it work on the Camille as well. So this is something that I think they're the best team that executes split push that I've seen today. Like, it's a difficult, as I said, it's a difficult strategy to make work, but 16-bit have got it down, and they are pulling Sengoku apart at the seams right now.
Oh, caught in a tight spot in here. Fortunately enough, the Wukong did not get locked in by any of the members of Team Sengoku, and actually that's the problem. They don't really have a sure lock. And talking about sure lock, that Darius is gonna go down again onto the ends of the Camille. I mean, Camille is not even stopping about punishing the Darius. He's not stopping.
No,
they're not stopping. Yeah.
Absolutely not, but why should you? Like, this is what a split push is supposed to do. This is why I love Camille as a split pusher, because like, as a split pusher, you have to have 1v1 pressure. So if you're looking to split push effectively, you need to be able to say to the enemy that's in your lane, I can kill you if you get too close to me. And then the very best split pushers can say, I can kill you whenever I want. And that's what Camille does. Camille basically threatens her lane opposition in the sense that she will always threaten the kill because of the hook shot into Hextech Ultimatum. She can lock down the single target really well. And this is what I think 16-bit are doing so excellently here as we have a fight picking up.
Man, this is really a good call to start and fully engage onto the fight. This is, I mean, I can even go for an ace on this one. Bullet time, not really connecting that well, but taking down a lot of... Oh, yeah, curtain call. Gonna get canceled because it won't do anything anyway. And he might just be put in the bad position, standing right behind the turret. Then, maybe some of the members will just be flanking on the side, taking down the Jin. So, yeah, there's a good opening for 16-bit to even take this Baron, while the really nice Camille doing just Baron laner work, solar laner work.
Honestly, this Camille's mechanics are clean. Honestly, every time I watch, I've literally got my point of view just focused on the Camille, watching them play, because they are super clean with their hook shots and their placement as well. I mean, this is the same guy that played the Fiora previously and just absolutely dominated. So, clearly showing that you can absolutely carry games from the Baron lane alone, and that's what we're seeing right now with the Camille. Not to say that the rest of the map is going bad at all. The rest of the map's doing great, but obviously the Camille just being the driving force behind some of the success that we're seeing.
Baron laners can carry, and this is what I love. I mean, usually we think about, okay, it's Baron laner, it's a solo laner. Usually he just don't go team fight, and but you know it matters because Baron laners or solo laners usually just to think macro. They have to really think about the macro where their team can win. But let's see. For the meantime, in here they're really putting a lot of pressure here in. Oh, look at the shockwave connecting onto a lot of members of side of Team Sengoku, even taking down the Brahmin wall.
No.
Perfect play and execution coming from the side of 16-bit gear. Them taking, not even taking down the inhibitor turrets and just inside the base, inside the nexus, going for an ace, and this is gonna be it. A 1-0 score so far by Team 16-bit gear.
Okay, this is the problem with Shyvana. Like, Shyvana is a great power farmer. She can get a load of gold just through pure camps. But one of the things that makes Shyvana good is the fact that she gets those added passives from taking the Drakes. If you don't get those passives, Shyvana's not particularly strong. And I think this game we saw it from Rush, just struggled. I've got to give huge credit to Camille, though. That first, the isolation and like essential elimination from Rush in that first Dragon team fight absolutely won the fight for 16-bit. And then the continued 1v1 pressure versus the Darius.